Hello, this is Vicky from the Spellbound Bead Company, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a simple braided bracelet. To make this bracelet you're going to need 3 lengths of microfiber suede. You'll need less than ½ metre of each. This bracelet here used about 35 centimetres and is about 9 inches long including the clasp. So ½ metre of each will be absolutely plenty. You'll also need a pair of lace ends. Now on this original bracelet I have used the ribbon ends, but I think I'll get a neater finish using the box lace ends. So for the new video bracelet I'm going to use the box lace ends. And then you'll need a clasp of your choice, so I'm using one of our ball and socket fasteners, and also a pair of oval jump rings to connect the clasp to the box lace ends. So let's get started. So let's move the little bits and pieces that I don't need to start with out of the way. So what I'm going to start by doing is putting the lengths of suede into one of the box ends. So to do this I'll just bring them together into a little stack and then pop them into the end of a box lace end. Now you will need to, this is a little bit fiddly to do. You can just use a little bit of tape or a little bit of thread around the end of the cords if you need to. And we're going to just use a pair of flat nose pliers to pinch these lace ends together. So start by pinching the sides inwards slightly, and then this is where you could do with a third hand. Then we're just going to pinch that over on that side and then over this way. Oops. And then just give it a nice firm pinch to make sure it's all held together tightly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a pin and pin this down to the mat. So if you've got a board or something that you can work on, that'll work as well. My mat is actually sellotaped to the top of at the top here, just so to hold it to the table so it doesn't slide around while I'm filming. So that will help as well. Now, the thing that makes this bracelet slightly different as a braid is rather than just bringing them in across and in across, which can make quite a lumpy, messy braid I've found, I'm actually going to take the time to fold the edges of the ribbon suede over as I'm doing it. So let's just put that pin back in there. So what we're going to do, it's an ordinary 3-strand braid, so we'll come across like so. Now this white one, I'm going to make sure that it's a bit difficult to explain, what's the bottom side here, so the side that's against my finger, I'm going to fold over so that that now sits on the top. And again the same with the grey, just fold it over so that it sits on the top. Fold and fold. And that's essentially it for the length of your bracelet. So it's a little bit slower than if you were just doing an ordinary plait, because you've just got to make sure you take the time. But what it does mean is that you get this nice profile to the bracelet, and it's really nice to wear because it's not very heavy, because the suede obviously isn't a heavy heavy material to be working with. So just keep folding over, over, and over. If you've ever done a plait in a little girl's hair or a little boy's hair or a horse's tail, then you'll know exactly what to do with this, and you've probably got quite a bit of muscle memory. So it's just ever so quick. But just take your time and make sure that the tension's nice and even, so you don't get any big loopy, gappy bits. Keep going all the way down. And what I found when I was making the other sample is to make sure that you, when you've finished it, just run your fingers down so that your threads aren't getting knotted at the bottom end of the bracelet, because I did have to stop and undo a knot, which I did do a little bit of muttering about. So just be aware of what the other ends of your thread are doing. There we go. And just keep going down. I'm just going to measure it against this one here. So nearly there. Just use your thumb and your forefinger to hold the braid underneath in place as you're folding the cords over. So nearly there. And we're just going to keep going all the way down. Okay, I think that's about long enough. Yeah, and then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the ends in together on top of one another, and then with a pair of scissors we're just going to trim this off so it's about the width of the box lace end, about the length of the box lace end. So just move that one out the way, just about there. Okay, so pinch all three ends together and pop them into the box lace end. Now what I'm going to do here is just make sure that I've got the same side of the box lace end on the what's the top of the bracelet there. So it doesn't really matter, but it's just that little attention to detail that I like to just do to make sure that it looks as nice as I can make it. And then we're just going to fold these two sides over again, same as before. Ooh. And squeeze it, nice firm squeeze, undo the pin, and there's the length of the bracelet. And then to finish it off, we're just going to use the ball and socket and some oval jump rings. So I've just got 2 pairs of pliers, and I'll just go through the box and through the clasp and fold that back, and then do the same on the other side. So there we go, and through the clasp and close that up. So there you go. Now that's a 3-strand braid. Obviously if you want to do something wider you can use 4 strands, 5 strands, 6 strands, however many you want to do. Just to show you with these little bits of offcuts of suede how to use the ribbon lace ends if you wanted to use those. So what I find with these is you're actually better off if you just give them a pinch to bring the 2 sides together slightly before you start putting your thread, your cord in. If you were using something like a ribbon, like a narrow ribbon, then just fold the end of the ribbon over a couple of times to bulk it out, just to give it more to grip to. But this suede's quite nice, quite a nice thickness just to grab it automatically. So I'm just going to put the 3 ends into that slot there and just steady it with my finger. That's just, oh, I'm making this look much more difficult than it actually is. So we'll put the 3 ends in and then use a pair of pliers again and just squeeze that flat there. And now the pressure here needs to be concentrated on this bottom end of the lace end, because you've got little serrations on this one side, and you want those to bite into the suede, and that'll give you a nice firm hold. And there you go. So that's how to make a braided suede bracelet.